Born between October 19th to 25th, you are the alchemist of the zodiac, where grace meets fire and truth is your sacred weapon. You exist in the liminal space, where Libra's velvet charm dances with Scorpio's molten depth. This isn't just a cusp. It's a cosmic crossroads where diplomacy and desire fuse into something extraordinary. You don't just balance light and shadow, you transmute them. They'll call you dramatic, critical, too much. But here's what they don't see. You don't stir the pot. You dissolve the illusions clouding it. Where others tiptoe around truth, you walk through walls of pretense like they're made of smoke. That harsh observation you made, it wasn't cruelty, it was clarity. That moment you refused to laugh at a hollow joke, that wasn't coldness, it was integrity. You've been told to soften your edges, to play nice, but your so-called intensity is just your soul refusing to perform. You don't critique to wound, you do it to awaken, to say, we can do better than this. Your superpower? Seeing the unseen. You don't just listen, you decipher. A tremor in a voice, a glance that lingers a second too long. You absorb the unsaid like a sponge, and it weighs on you. That's why solitude isn't just a preference, it's a necessity. You need space to process the emotional static others don't even notice. But here's the magic. When someone finally meets your depth, when they say, I see you seeing me, and don't flinch, that's when your heart cracks open. You're the friend who remembers the anniversary of their loss. The lover who whispers, tell me the part you're afraid to say. Libra gifts you with an artist's eye, for beauty, for harmony, for the perfect turn of phrase that soothes a storm. But Scorpio gifts you with fangs, not to harm, but to protect what's real. You can host a dinner party where everyone feels adored, thanks to Libra's grace. And then, at midnight, you'll dismantle a lie with surgical precision, wielding Scorpio's blade. It's exhausting, this dance. One foot in the ballroom, the other in the underworld. But when you stop apologizing for it, that's when you become unstoppable. They'll say you're overthinking, but you're not thinking more. You're thinking deeper. While others skim headlines, you're reading footnotes, reading between them, reading the ink that bled through the page. Your obsessiveness, it's devotion. Your suspicion, it's wisdom. So here's your anthem. I will not dull my shine to make your shadows comfortable. Not everyone will stand the heat of your presence. Let them go. You're here for the ones who crave the kind of love that rearranges their bones. The kind that doesn't just kiss scars but asks, how did you survive? Romance for you isn't a pastime, it's a ritual. You don't want sweet nothings. You want the everything, the fears, the dreams, the ugly, glorious truth of who they are at 3 a.m. when no one's watching. You'll love them with a ferocity that terrifies the faint of heart. You'll memorize the cadence of their breath, the way their voice cracks when they're lying. And if they betray you, the grief will be volcanic. But you'll rise, always. Because you'd rather burn in the honesty of your pain than freeze in the safety of denial. You're not between signs. You're a bridge, a living, breathing invitation to something rawer, realer. So wear your duality like a crown. Let them call you too intense. Let them whisper. Meanwhile, you'll be the one in the corner, seeing everything, loving anyway, loving deeper, loving like it's the only language that matters. Because for you, it is. You are governed by Venus, the planet of love and beauty, and Pluto, the planet of death and rebirth. This means you experience relationships and art not just as pleasures, but as transformations. You don't just like someone, you evolve through them. You don't just admire a painting, you feel its soul history, the brushstrokes of the artist's pain and joy. This makes you an old soul in a world that often prefers the superficial. Even you, in your quietest moments, wonder, am I too intense? Should I dial it back? This doubt is your biggest obstacle. When you shrink, you betray your nature. The right people will not just tolerate your depth, they'll dive in with you. You thrive in roles where perception meets power. Ideal paths: psychologist, artist, investigator, healer, strategist, writer. Why? Because you see patterns others miss. You don't just solve problems, you dissect their roots. Libra wants peace. Scorpio wants truth at any cost. Your challenge? Knowing when to walk away versus when to burn it all down. The answer? Trust your gut. If something feels rotten, it is. Gifts? Words? Touch? No. Your love language is, I am not afraid of your shadows. You need a partner who doesn't flinch when you show your scars, because you will always show them. You are the mediator between light and dark, the one who translates chaos into meaning. The world needs your vision, your fire, your refusal to settle for half-truths. So the next time someone calls you too much, smile and say, good. You're finally paying attention. Keep seeing. Keep loving. Keep transforming. The world is starved for what you carry.